not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Chronic Gamer. My name is Matt, and this is my first reaction to Rurouni Kenshin. We're doing episodes 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead, click the link in the description, check it out, come back here, and let me know what you think in the comments. If you are watching this on YouTube and you want to see next week's reaction video, go ahead and check out my Patreon. I have it over there for early access. If you want updates, check out my Discord server. It's also in the description, the link. Okie dokie. So this is the series that won the poll, and I'm enjoying it. It was really good, actually. I did not know what to expect. I went into this series completely blind, so I don't know really anything there is to know about this. But I'm enjoying it so far. So we got the Wandering Swordsman, which is Kenshin himself. I don't know where Rurouni comes in, but Kenshin is the name of the Wandering Swordsman and the main character of this series. And he seems to be a samurai who helped, I guess, liberate Japan or something during a revolution. And now he wanders the world, I guess, trying to protect people and do good things. And I think that's pretty awesome. So he comes across this girl, Kaoru, who's in trouble with this guy who goes by Bitchute, I think it was. Bitchute the manslayer. I think that's what they called him, manslayer. And he held a grudge against her and her family because like he was a student of her father's back in the day, and he wanted to use his sword skills to basically oppress and kill people, and I guess that's not anything like what they were trying to teach at that school. So instead of killing her in a pretty badass way, the father like cut his thumb up so that he couldn't hold his sword properly anymore with his right hand. And now he's back to, or he was back to get his revenge, I guess, on the school and on her because she's the one who's surviving her father. And I don't know, it seemed like petty vengeance to me. And Kenshin came in and pretty easily defeated him. It's also good to note that Kenshin doesn't kill people anymore. He used to kill people back when he was fighting for the revolution, but now he doesn't want to kill anybody. So he uses this like sword where the back part of the sword is the one that's sharp, not the front part. So, I mean, he could still kill people with that if he wanted to. I'm sure he could just swing the sword backwards. It is curved the wrong way, but I'm sure if it's sharp enough, it'll still kill people. But that's not what he's about. He uses the blunt part of the sword to basically knock people out and protect other people. So that's pretty cool. But then they came across Yahiko, the little kid who was unfortunately being used by the Yakuza. The Yakuza is like an old Japanese crime syndicate gang that I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they're still around. I don't know how big they are these days, but I believe they're still around. Remnants of them anyway. I don't know. But they were using the kid. They basically lied to him, and they're trying to get money out of him and get him to do things for them. But the kid was actually pretty prideful and a little hidden badass, actually. He did what he had to do to survive, pickpocketed and all that, but it was very clear that he wasn't a bad kid from the start. When I first saw him pickpocket that old grandpa, he quickly gave the money back when he realized he was just trying to have a good day with his grandson. And Kenshin even saw that in him and treated him nicely right from the get-go, and treated him with respect of all things. Even though he's still a child and has a lot to learn, he treated him with respect, and that's definitely says a lot about Kenshin's character. The kid is a very prideful kid, and he loved his parents, and he's just doing what he has to do, and he doesn't want to be treated like a kid. And Kenshin saw that right away and treated him the way he thought the kid deserved to be treated. And I love that. It's great. But yeah, so they decided to help the kid out, and they saved him from the Yakuza. And the Yakuza very quickly realized that they should not mess with Kenshin at all, because he is a total badass and like a remnant of the samurai from back in the day, which like it's outlawed now, I guess. I don't know if it's outlawed to be a samurai, but it's outlawed to carry swords around. And I guess that's the new government's way of trying to keep peace. But governments are always a little corrupt, in my opinion. Some are very corrupt, and as we can tell from the goings-on of the world today. But I don't want to get into that. But anyway, Kenshin is all about living the life that he believes should help people and sticks true to himself. And even though he was a man who fought and killed people for the sake of, I guess, overthrowing a very corrupt government, now he wants to go around and protect people and put his killing days behind him. And I respect that. You know, I guess he probably didn't want to kill people to begin with, but he did what he had to do to, I guess, save the majority and for the greater good. That's a term that could be used either good or bad for the greater good. Not that they use that term in this, I'm using that term now, but for the greater good can be really for the greater good, or it can be used as a way to justify doing something that's bad. I believe that once he did what he had to do, he didn't want to continue down that path, as we saw in the last episode when Mustache Man, I'm forgetting his name right now, but when he showed up, he ended up being like an old comrade of Kenshin's, and he wanted him to go work for the government, and Kenshin's like, nah, that's not my thing. You know, no offense to you, but I believe governments are there to kind of oppress people. And he kind of proved his point when the guy was like, well, I'll make them see. And he's like, yeah, you'll force them to. And that's not what I'm about. So I'm going to use my sword to protect people, and I'm going to go do my own thing. And again, I really do appreciate that about him. We're just getting started with this series, but I'm already very much enjoying it. Sorry if you hear that. Somebody's riding a loud motorcycle outside my window. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. And I know some people are upset that I'm watching this in dub, but I really prefer dubs. The only reason I'd ever watch a sub is if there is no completed dub, and I'd have to switch to sub anyway, especially if there's more subbed episodes than dubbed episodes. If a dub is mostly completed and there's still subs at the end, I might watch the dub anyways. And the other reason I would watch a dub is if overwhelmingly people tell me that the dub changes the context of the main story and the story is completely different from how it was originally supposed to be told, like in the Japanese version. If an overwhelming amount of people tell me that, then I would consider watching it in sub rather than in dub. But nobody's told me that about this, and in fact, some people have told me that they like the dub and they grew up watching the dub, and that's how I'm gonna watch this. You know, changing a little things with the dub is expected. Sometimes there's translation errors. This is definitely an older anime, which I'll touch on in just a second, but this is definitely an older anime, and dubbing wasn't as good back when they probably dubbed this. And I can't really fault them. A lot of dubbing companies didn't know exactly what they were doing when they were dubbing these works of art into English. But as long as the main story is there and the main context is there, little things like maybe a character not showing as much emotion as the subbed character would have, those don't really bother me all that much. I'd really prefer to watch it in English and get the whole picture. And understand what's going on without having to focus on subtitles at the bottom and reading and understanding them, as well as watching the show and reacting to you all. If it's in subbed, my commentary is going to shoot down. It's going to be way less. And I'd rather give you guys the commentary. That's what you all are here for. If you wanted to just watch this, you can watch it by yourself. You're here for my reactions and my commentary on it, and I can't give that to you if I'm watching it in dub as much. I'm sorry, in sub as much as I would watching it in dub. But to touch on what I was just talking about, this being an older anime, you can definitely tell in the art style and the animation that it's older. But it looks very good. I don't know if this is based off of a manga. I think it might be, because everyone's telling me that the final season is filler. So if it's based off a manga, that would make a lot more sense. I don't know who the manga artist or writer is, if they're one and the same or if there's multiple, but let me know that in the comments, because I would like to give them credit for this. I didn't look it up, and I don't plan on looking it up, really. I just kind of want to watch this completely blind. So let me know who the manga artist and writer is in the comments section. But I do like the artwork. I like the expressions on Kenshin's face. He always has those like big eyes, and it's a lot sillier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be a little more serious, but I guess I should never assume that, because this is anime and all sorts of stuff can happen. Some episodes are crazy serious and some episodes are just silly when it comes to anime. So, but overall, I am very much enjoying it, and I can't wait to see what happens next in this series. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Chronic Gamer. Peace.